Welcome to TalkBack, the show where we ask tough, compelling questions from tough, compelling people. Our guest tonight served as an artillery officer in the Pakistan Army for 34 years. He fought in the 65 and 71 wars. He culminated his military career by becoming the Director General first of the MI and then finally of the ISI, after which he was posted first as Pakistan's ambassador to Germany and then as Pakistan's ambassador to Saudi Arabia. Some call him a clever spook. We call him the Spy Master. Lieutenant General Asad Durrani, welcome to TalkBack. Let's get right to business. You are aware of the Mehran Gate scandal. The scandal involved you, let me remind us and the viewers, the scandal involved you working as the DG of the ISI in 1990 and signing an affidavit to the effect that you took orders from the Chief of Army Staff, General Mirza Aslam Beg, to disburse millions of funds to the political opponents of the PPP, which was in power at that time. How do you respond to that, sir?
It was never the Mehran Gate scandal. It was something quite different. It didn't have a name. The matter was taken to the court in 1996, 97. For 2 years, we were in the court. We gave our statements. The court has reserved its judgment. It's sub judice. Whatever has been leaked out, I have no problem admitting it. Yes, some funds were distributed. These funds did not belong to the government or to the ISI. ISI was not involved. I am the one who was involved.
How do you feel about the fact that as a serving officer of the Pakistan Army, you were involved in meddling in political affairs, in civilian political affairs of this country?
No, one doesn't feel very good, but then one is also talking about an environment in which the army has been involved in the political affairs of this country for a long, long time. So if one starts from there, the army's involvement may be bad, but once it gets involved, then there are a number of other people who also get involved.
So let me get this straight. You are saying you feel uncomfortable about it, but it's fine because the army is involved anyways.
No, I didn't say that it is fine. I feel uncomfortable, I felt bad, I do not believe that the army rule has done much good to this country, but once it is involved, and that's a fact of life, so many other people get involved. In this particular case, it was not only the army chief.
Why do you think the courts haven't taken you on?
Oh, they have. We, as I said, we were there before the court for 2 years. I was, during that period,
But there has
were
been
two
no
or three.
decision.
The decision has been reserved.
You wrote, sir.
It's up to the court whenever they want to make it open.
You've written, sir, on the 21st of June 2007 in an article titled "We are on a roll in the nation," that our military too is at times in the dock for acting against the law, but manages to get the benefit of the doubt. Did you get the benefit of the doubt, General?
I'm talking about the military. The military gets the benefit of doubt through the doctrine of necessity. And someone once said the successful coup have their own legitimacy. As far as my benefit of doubt is concerned, for that we'll have to wait whenever the judgment comes out.
So what about your credibility as a serving officer, a DG of the ISI and the Pakistan Army?
Credibility vis-a-vis who? If we are talking about this case, I've already talked about this case. As far as the other and most of the work is not involved with this one, and there the credibility had to be judged whenever I was there by whatever results we produced.
So you were just taking orders? Is that
No, I
right?
would not say that. At that particular level, you don't say that I'm just following orders. But what I'm trying to say is that in a certain environment, we act in a certain manner.
General, following up on that, you did this under whatever premise you have just explained. You manipulated the IJI into opposing the PPP, but then you were in touch with the Prime Minister Benazir Bhutto after 1990, once he was not Prime Minister. So much so to the effect that General Wahid Kakar, the COAS at that point, found out about you being in touch with her, in communication with her, outside of the ambit of your office, outside the ambit of your portfolio, and according to him, struck you off duty. Also according to the Defense Journal.
We are assuming too many things about which we might not know, and I'm not likely to talk about that because that is so much Army's internal matter. And if I was in touch with the deposed Prime Minister, one would not know. And as I said, I'm not going to talk about it. Why was I in touch with her? Was it on my own? Was it within a certain framework?
But you were struck off duty, General. You were struck off duty because the Chief of Army Staff found out that you were in touch with Benazir Bhutto.
Yeah. So as I said, the reasons are the Army's internal reasons. And if he thought that I should no longer be in duty, then that was his discretion.
Where do you draw the line, General, about not discussing versus discussing? You are on national television. You need to be held accountable at some point. You have served this country. You have been one of our military leaders. You don't think you can be held accountable?
You see, as far as accountability is concerned, there are so many levels. One is this one. The other is the internal accountability of the Army. And about that, very little is likely to be said. And of course, there was another accountability that was done in the Supreme Court. Where else do you go for accountability? There were 2 or 3 Chief Justices who heard us out.
Is it true that you were rewarded by Benazir Bhutto being the ambassador? You were posted as the ambassador in Bonn in Germany. Is it true that that was a reward for staying loyal and in communication with her?
Let me put it this way. After my retirement and after retirement, so many like me get certain other jobs. Some of them go as ambassadors. The names are sent by the Army headquarters. My name was sent by General Wahid Kakar.
The man who had struck you off duty.
Yeah, I mean...
Now wanted you to serve as an ambassador.
So that should also answer many of the questions that might be lurking in your mind.
Finally, the drug scandal involving the Prime Minister. The drug scandal involving the Prime Minister, former Prime Minister of Pakistan, Nawaz Sharif. Mr. Sharif has been on record in both the U.S. Hall of Congressional Records as well as the Dawn, saying that you approached him with General Mirza Aslam Beg while you were both serving and presented to him a blueprint for issuing drugs, using drugs as a source of funding ISI activities. How do you respond to that?
Completely wrong.
You're taking on
Absolutely.
a former Prime Minister's word, sir.
I don't know whether he said that or not. All that I'm saying is that I have also read these reports, and they are completely wrong.
Has the ISI ever involved itself in drug scandals, General? Has the ISI funded terrorist or other activities using drugs?
ISI was never involved in any drug trafficking. Never.
We'll take a short break here. We're talking to Lieutenant General Asad Durrani, the former DG of the MI and the ISI. Stay tuned to TalkBack.